In the summer of 2019, I had the opportunity to test out the infamous 40-count Louis Vuitton colored pencils. The total retail price of these colored pencils was a whopping $1,000. These colored pencils were Louis Vuitton's first colored pencils ever to be made, and it turned out the quality of these pencils was an absolute wreck. For $1,000, something this waxy and full of filler is, in my opinion, completely unacceptable, dude. And I personally thought it was gonna be like a one-time limited edition kind of thing. But no, I was completely wrong, because Louis Vuitton's winter-fall collection for 2021 featured yet another colored pencil set. Except this time, they decided to
add a little bit of spice.
This time around, the pencils went from a 40-pack down to a minuscule 12-pack. And they also decided that charging almost $990 wasn't enough for colored pencils. So what is an ultra luxurious brand to do? Jack up the price $220, making the grand total of these 12 pencils in a leather pouch $1,220. Every time I repeat the price to myself, it just kind of, right in the heart, like it hits deep. And of course, because I run a YouTube art channel, and because I am able to write this off on my taxes, I bought them. There are some key differences than the original one, which I'll explain later in the video. And before this video begins, if you like Louis Vuitton and you like the bags and stuff, that's your business, And of course, if you're new here, at this point, I've tested tons and tons of luxury and weird art supplies, and I don't have any plans to stop. If that sounds like something that's up your alley, feel free to subscribe. And now that you guys know the backstory, everybody knows what's up, let's go ahead and tear this baby open. So first things first, we need to talk about the packaging. I'm so out of the loop when it comes to designers that literally the first time I ever filmed a Louis Vuitton video, I didn't even know how to say it correctly. Louis Vuitton. If you look at the tag, it doesn't just say it's Louis Vuitton. It also says that it's in collaboration with another luxury designer brand, Fornasetti. The stuff that Fornasetti sells, it's actually cheaper than a Louis Vuitton stuff. Not that much cheaper, but it's cheaper. Like if you're in a market for a decorative plate, you can get one for the low price of $330. Or maybe you're like myself, who is a fellow lover of candles. You can purchase one of their candles for the price of $210. Or maybe you're just in the mood for a nice, hot, fresh cup of tea. Well, you can get a full Fornasetti teacup set for the price of $1,300. And recently, Fornasetti did a collaboration with none other than Louis Vuitton. So yeah, that's why the packaging isn't just the normal Louis Vuitton leather. This one has like Fornasetti designs all over it, which is probably one of the factors as to why this costs so much than the original one that they came out with. And I know that everybody is gonna be shocked by me saying this. Believe me, I was shocked too. But I actually really enjoyed the design of this packaging. As somebody who's worked with, at this point, hundreds of different colored pencils in their packaging, this is probably one of the most creative and unique packagings that I've ever seen when it comes to colored pencils. This one is really cool because it's like an envelope.
You do want to stress on the first syllable, envelope.
The actual leather case, it's in the shape of the traditional Louis Vuitton flower, which is an absolute iconic symbol that you'll see through the entirety of Louis Vuitton's previous, past, and future collections. Even though this isn't necessarily the most functional, I can confidently say this is the most creative packaging that I've ever seen when it comes to colored pencils. Especially if we're gonna compare it to the last Louis Vuitton. That one was literally just like a piece of Louis Vuitton canvas rolled up. I think the packaging is a solid 10 out of 10. So we started off on a high note, and from this point forward, the video is gonna take a complete nosedive. I guess we'll go ahead and start talking about the barrels, because these barrels are kind of a mess. The barrel itself, upon first inspection, it's cute. The little Louis Vuitton logo and the gold tip at the end. Unlike the Gucci ones, at least this one has something and it's not just like the plain pencil. But if we're gonna be judging these for $1,200, girl, who you playing? Usually with more high-end colored pencils, it's very, very important that the barrel, it's a little bit thicker. And the reason they make it a little bit thicker is so if you drop it, it'll have a bunch of wood to protect the inside and thus reduce cracking. But just like the Gucci ones,
not this one.
This barrel width is a standard size that you would find literally with Crayola or Dollar Tree ones. And not just that, but the second thing that I noticed about these barrels is that they're made out of compressed wood. If you don't know what compressed wood is, it's literally the hot dog of woods. They take and bleach leftover wood and compress it into new wood. Companies that make higher end art supplies, if they're trying to make a more luxurious art supply, instead of using compressed wood, they'll opt for one singular piece of wood. It's a little bit more expensive, it's a little bit more stable, and it takes more time to create. So usually with art supply companies, when they're trying to save a little bit of coin, they'll opt for compressed wood. And the reason it's two different colors is because it's two pieces of wood smashed together to make a new piece of wood. In fact, to make my point even more clear, let's compare the weight of this Faber-Castell Polychromos versus one of these Louis Vuitton pencils. The Faber-Castell one weighs exactly 6 grams, and the Louis Vuitton one weighs exactly 5 grams, which I know is a really small detail, it's a really small difference, but to me, paying attention to the little details, in my opinion, it's usually what makes something that much more special. If you want to know what it's like to hold a $1,200 colored pencil, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Dollar Tree, pick up
literally whatever colored pencil is cheapest,
and it'll feel the exact same as this. I'm gonna have to give it a 2 out of 10. So at this point, we're at like a 50-50, you know, high note, low note. Hopefully the next note will be a high note. Let's go ahead and talk about the formula and the swatches. Woo.
I'm saying let's go. You're saying maybe. Let's find a disco. You're stuck at home being so lazy. Hey. Give me some energy. Wanna come dance with me. Give me some energy. Wanna come dance with me. There's no fire without smoke. I ain't letting you go. I can see you buzzing.
So as far as like the actual color selection itself, if you only have 12 colors to choose from, it's not bad. But where I start to get kind of salty is the fact that the last Louis Vuitton colored pencil set that they came out with, it came with 40 different colors. Every color that you could pretty much need, including a gold. And here's the real kicker. Each pencil was about $20 a piece. But this new pencil set, each pencil comes to about $100 per pencil. And as if that wasn't frustrating enough that they jacked up the price 5 times over, it wasn't until I opened and unboxed these bad boys that I noticed that there is a paintbrush symbol on this barrel. Now, what does that brush symbol mean? It means that it is not a colored pencil. It's actually a watercolor pencil, which that is a whole entire new can of worms. Watercolor pencils compared to a regular colored pencil, the formula is different. The way it breaks down is different. Paper you use is different. The light fastness of it is different. Basically, a watercolor pencil is watercolor compressed into a pencil. And just for the heck of it, I decided to compare these $1,200 colored pencils to my favorite Walmart pencils. And if you look at the difference in quality of formula, it's night and day, dude. The Louis Vuitton ones, they're full of filler. Because it has so much filler, it's very scratchy. As far as like layering on top of each other, doesn't layer on top of each other at all. And it's pretty dramatic that a $20 color pencil set from Walmart, good old Walmart, that it completely outranks in quality these $1,200 colored pencils. So as far as like the colors and formula goes, even though it's not a colored pencil, it's a watercolor pencil, I would say it's pretty mid-tier, coming in at 5 out of 10. 4 months ago, I did a video on $900 Gucci 40 count pencils, and upon unboxing those pencils, I had mentioned this. I think this is literally the exact color selection of the Louis Vuitton ones that I tried that one time. I mean, the colors were the exact same, the way they worked was the exact same. I mean, those pencils were literally the exact same. But at the time, I couldn't confirm to my audience that they were the exact same pencils because I didn't have the Louis Vuitton pencils. But now, glory be, because today I have both. I have both the Gucci and the Louis Vuitton here. Now, the first coincidence, if you will, about these pencils that is absolutely shocking, if you look at the barrel, they're pretty much the exact same. Down to the fact that they're both made out of compressed wood, they both have an octagon shape, the colors on the barrel are the exact same themselves, even down to the pattern of how these were sharpened. I was able to color match just by the barrel alone every single color in this Louis Vuitton color pencil case with the Gucci one. Literally every single color had an exact match. And if you want to get even deeper into the iceberg than that, with the colors that I color matched perfectly, I tested them out side by side to see the colors, like right next to each other. And lo and behold, what did I find? They're the exact same colors on the inside. I'm not even gonna bother telling you which square is Louis Vuitton and which one's Gucci because they literally are the exact colors. And by the way, I looked it up. Louis Vuitton and Gucci, they have two completely different parent companies. But I do think that Louis Vuitton and Gucci are sourcing their pencils from the exact same place. Now, if you don't know what sourcing is, it's basically whenever a company wants to make an item, they'll go to an already existing factory that makes those items. And they could either do two things. The first one is to customize it and make your own brand new product with the factory's abilities. But whenever companies customize products like that, it usually takes up more time. It costs them more money because the factory has to do all kinds of special things. And the second and more cheaper option that a company can private source is a company buys the already made mass-produced item that the factory produces and just slaps their logo on it. And I think Louis Vuitton and Gucci did that with the pencils. And as if buying low-quality pencils for $1,200 just wasn't too painful enough, on Alibaba, within the first few seconds of scrolling, I stumbled across a very similar watercolor set with exactly 40 colors with exactly the same color palette, including the one silver and the one gold watercolor pencil, including the faux leather canvas case. And you want to know what the individual price is if you buy in bulk? Only $6.50. My final thought on these coloring pencils is why did Louis Vuitton even bother to put pencils inside the packaging in the first place? They sell backpacks, notebooks, pencil cases, and all of those sell incredibly well without stuff inside of them. So why is the coloring pencil set any different? It's kind of ironic because it almost brings down the value to have such a low quality item inside of such a high quality item. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, what's going on? I feel like I'm living in crazy world right now. In my opinion, I believe that they're a mass-produced product that just has their logo on it. So ultimately, I'm ranking these pencils, for me personally, a 0 out of 10. Not worth the money. I'm sure everybody in the comment is probably like, sis, we knew they were gonna be 0 out of 10 from the start. But I don't know, I just wanted to like give them one more chance and see if anything changed, you know? If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to. We would love to have you here. And with that being said, guys, happy drawing, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye!